Welcome, friends. You are standing now in the Bombay room. Now, the Bombay room is not historical. As a matter of fact, we added this room in 2002. But the rest of the building that you were just in and what you're
that wallpaper that the gals had hand selected for their rooms in here
is all 1897 and 1898. Now, please take as many photographs as you'd like upstairs. The more photographs you take, the more likely you are to see a ghost. But turn the flash off for me because we do have some light-sensitive artifacts. And speaking of lights and sensitive, this is one of the oldest artifacts that we have. This is the original gas lamp that was out in front. Because Madame Diamond Lil, who ran this house, was a fancy lady, and she only wanted the fanciest girls to work for her. And if you worked for her, she would give you your
on the map because of gold, right? So gold is the whole reason that we're here. But guess how much gold was found in Skagway?
None.
0. That's right. There's no gold anywhere near here. It was all about 800 miles to the north of here, right? But Skagway was kind of a jumping off point to get to that gold. So in August of 1896, a guy named George Carmack was in the Yukon. He was on the tributary of a cold, dark river called the Klondike, and a little kind of side creek from there called Rabbit Creek is kind of where he was prospecting for gold. So it was him and his wife and his brother-in-law and his brother-in-law's friend, and his wife was Tlingit and his brother-in-law was Tlingit. So yeah, they were up there prospecting for gold. They happened to get a moose that night that gold was discovered, and they decided that they were going to stick around on the creek. And George Carmack decided that he was going to kind of pan for gold while he was there. He was like, oh, let me go check out and see what we've got. And he just kind of lucked out and found the biggest gold streak in U.S. history. He said that the gold in the creek lay as thick as the cheese in a cheese sandwich. He wasn't the most eloquent guy in the world, but that was his quote. Oh, he's going to make this stuff. So yeah, once that gold was discovered, Carmack was an interesting character. He was kind of a ham and kind of a show-off, and he decided that he wanted to go and stake a claim, so he staked a claim, and then he had a shotgun shell full of gold nuggets, and basically kind of showed everybody in the bar that night that what he had found, right? So from there, all these people descended on Rabbit Creek, and that's when they renamed it Bonanza Creek, right? Because they found all this gold there. And then that brought everybody in that Klondike area, all the prospectors, all kind of descended onto Rabbit Creek and started, staking their claims. And then right after that, winter set in, and then they all were, mining through the winter, and they had to melt down the pay dirt and kind of extract all that gold. And then they put that gold onto 2 export ships, one called the Portland and one called the Excelsior. And then they sent it down to Seattle. And as soon as that gold got to Seattle in 1897, the news hit the wires, and then before you know it, the entire country had heard about this gold discovery. And that's when everybody and their uncle, all told about 100,000 people, started this massive northward migration up into the Klondike. And there was 2 ways to get there. If you were really rich, you could take a steamer all the way up the coast of Alaska, out the Yukon River Delta, and then take a steamship upstream all the way to Dawson City. That was the home of gold mining in the Klondike. Or if you were on the poorer side, you could actually go the other way, and then you could just take a steamer all the way to Skagway, and then cross the 2 trails that were discovered by Captain William Henry Moore, the Chilkoot Trail or the White Pass Trail. And then from there, you could hike over those mountains and then take the Yukon River and float with it, essentially, all the way to Dawson City. So those are the Alright guys, welcome to the Gold Rush Cemetery. It's basically, we're going to kind of take this path along. We'll stop at one grave first, who was the kind of the town prankster and the original tourism promoter. His name was Martin Itchen. He, if you've seen any of the little yellow streetcars driving around, he was the originator of the Skagway streetcar tours, and that was pretty much immediately right after the gold rush. Skagway kind of turned into from a gold rush town to a transportation corridor kind of town after the building of the railway. So he just thought that people would want to come here and visit. So he was kind of our originator of the new Skagway economy, the tourism economy. So, and like I said, he also wanted to be buried next to the world's biggest gold nugget. So you'll see that as we take a head up there. But the main reason that we wanted to bring you here is because I wanted to tell you the Soapy Smith story, right? So I may have brought his name up. You may have seen it on the side of some of the buildings in town. He was born Jefferson Randolph Smith, and he was the son of a plantation owner from Georgia. Interesting character, Southern gentleman.